this data. And I would commend to the young guys now, you get a different feel when you go back and try to find things on the internet. You'll find a copy of a newspaper article, but it may have been changed 2 or 3 times during the day. And they still have the microfilm on the Pensacola News Journal. So you can go in and you can read that. It's really interesting. If you haven't learned how to use a microfilm, they'll show you. But it's a neat thing to be able to actually read what would have been the official story that day.
It puts these big old things down onto a little thing like that, and it magnifies it in, and you can see all these pages, and that's microfilm. And you incorporated some of it in your book. You got a picture of the old ticket for that first football game. But to see these things, is so cool to me because I've grown up in this area. I've lived here since 1973. I was a month old when my family came down here. My dad was stationed at Hurlburt. When he got out of the Air Force, he said, I'm going back down to the coast. So this area runs deep for me. That was the reason why I started Marketable Sports, is to shine a spotlight on these kids. What was the impetus for you to write this book, undertake this massive project, which is
I had no idea
it
would be massive, but it was interesting. When I was 6 years old, Pensacola High had, won the state championship in '53, and they had been denied. As I began to research, 4 or 5, there was a bias against Northwest Florida.
Oh, go figure.
And I'll give you a story about 27 or 28, but my dad took me to that game, and the year after, and the best I can figure out, it was the Jesuit game, because beating them for the first time in '53 led to Pensacola getting the AP state championship.
That's a Tampa Jesuit team, right?
No, New Orleans Jesuit.
New Orleans Jesuit.
That was a big rival, big money game. But so my father was killed in an accident in '72, and the internet's a great thing. I began to read in 2004 that the Tigers suffered from the big storm. I guess it was Ivan.
Yes.
And I was reading about just how terrible. They didn't even know where the players were. They'd gone away.
Yeah, it hit hard.
I was reading about those kids had to play a game on Friday, Monday, and Friday to get enough games in to qualify. And they, as I said, they didn't know where the players were, so they were getting them. And I thought, if my team's going to play for a chance to go to the state championship game, I'm going to go down and watch them play. So I came down and I got here early. And when I was a young boy, we knew it as Tiger Stadium, largest place I'd ever been. And it was cold that night, and I can remember my dad putting a jacket around my shoulders, and they played Go Tigers Go. And, I got totally wrapped up in that. Well, as you can imagine, he died 72, so 28 plus 4 years, he'd been dead 32 years. So I got there a little early, and I was sitting outside the stadium, and this blonde-headed guy came out, a kind of beefed-up-looking guy, became someone I really think a lot of, was Mike Bennett. Coach Bennett came out, and I was parked up there right by the grandstand. He said, "Can I help you?" And I said, well, I kind of told him the story. And I came to see the Tigers play, and it's about 2 hours I was reminiscing about my dad, my first game. He said, well, come on in and meet everybody. We're just in there kind of getting pregame, getting ready to go. And I went in, and they were down in the bowels of the old Tiger Stadium, Scoggins Stadium. And they were so nice. They were kind of game planning and playing around. They were ready to go. And so he just welcomed me. And during the conversation, he said, do you know how old our program is? And I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it was the oldest. And so he said, I'd really kind of like to know that. So I began, I had a place at the beach, and I'd stay for a week or two. And so I thought I'd stay and watch the next game. And then I followed them all the way through the end of that series. I'd come back from Mississippi. But I began to read, and I found some state championship teams, and I just got enthralled with it. And as I said, I would hire these, and they were great students from UWF, and I'd come back and read, and the more I would read, in 27, one of the sports writers suggested that we should secede from Florida because they called us the L.A. school, Lower Alabama.
They still use that term, by the way.
We would be denied playoffs.
Not about the school, but about this area.
The area.
Yeah.
And they would somehow we would always get knocked out. We had some great teams. We had a coach, 27. He was there 25, 6, 7, and 8. And I think he lost 2 games. He was a great coach. He had played at the University of Tennessee.
Wow. Well, we've had, of course, Coach Bennett was on earlier with us. We had PHS's new coach, Coach Tyson. I tell you what, it's really exciting what he's done, because if you would have talked to anybody at the end of last season, they were worried about where PHS and the program was going. And Coach Tyson comes in and gets a great turnout over the summer, and you got to love to see that.
Yeah, I have not had much opportunity. I stopped by to watch the first or second day of practice in the spring, and he was nice and wanted to show me kind of what they were doing in the locker room. I said, Coach, you're busy right now, but we'll get back together. So
he's a people person.
Yeah, and I think, in fact, Coach Mincy and I were talking about, he had been by and visited with him and offered to help him. And I think people overlook that once you've been at PHS, even though we're having some dark days now, many of us still love that school and wish for the best. Your co-host today was one of the guys that in the pivotal, there have been about 3 times when PHS really, really had to have a savior come in, and Leo Carvalis rescued the Tigers in about 82, and then a couple of coaches headed downhill in the early 90s, and then Coach Wilson came in 94, 95, and he was a great coach, and there's a lot of things that problematic the way our old stadium's out there, and they used it for classrooms and stuff. And we had the same situation with Coach Mincy, where you just we just don't have the resources. I'm not knocking the school, but we had a lot of fun in 2009. A bunch of the old guys came back when we named the field house for Coach Haynes.
Yeah, that's so cool. And you know, Coach Tyson gave a little speech, and you talk about that rebuilding. And I don't know if you saw that about the $20 bill.
Yeah.
I tell you, and I talked to him about it. I got chills when I watched that.
Me too.
Because anybody who's been knocked down knows that what you got to do is you get up, you dust yourself off, and guess what? You spend just like a $20 bill that is crumped up, it's crispy or crumbled up. And the message was, it resonated, and I think it had that effect on that team too. Get those numbers out over the summer. He clearly has some influence, and the kids are excited.
You know, I agree with that. It motivated me, and the man he replaced. Well, he didn't replace, but the guy on the back page there, the back cover, was the coach in the year before Cedric Smith came. That's Todd Leonard. I don't know if you know. I don't know if you know the history of that particular game.
Tell the history of that game. We've got it right here.
Emmett Smith.
Yes.
Had a tough time with Pensacola High. He was 1-3, and they were number 1 in the nation. And they played the Tigers in 1986. Probably 13,000 people, standing room only. I have a video of Jet Rogers was doing the game, the color with Shugart back when they first started.
I was in middle school, and I remember those games were always 5 or 6 deep. Go ahead.
Pensacola won 17-10. They kind of shut Emmett down that night, and there was a coach that Maxey, that Howell. He was the offensive coordinator to Scambia, and he decided he was going to use Emmett as a decoy. So they dicked us a lot that night. But Pensacola, a very controversial play that was reminiscent of the first game in 1960. Emmett ran the ball down the sideline for a touchdown, and an official ruled that he was out of bounds in front of the Pensacola High bench. And, of course, it turned out he had been a player at Pensacola High. And I'm convinced from watching the replay that he was out of bounds, but it was pretty darn close. And then in '60, that first time they played, Pensacola lost one, didn't go there, where David Rawson he's an oral surgeon, great guy, the third of the Rawson brothers to play here and then go to Auburn. He told me he had never answered that question. He'd been asked 1,000 times if he scored, and he said, I will give you the answer, but only if you actually publish the book. I don't want you to ever tell anyone, because I never want it to sound like sour grapes or any of that. He said, so if you do the book, he said, there's no doubt I scored. They ran, I think it was called Blast 50. He was telling me the old single wing. And I was sitting on that end line I was in about the 8th grade, I think. And you could kind of see him go in, and the back judge comes up, and before he can get his hands, the side judge comes in. Those guys were from New Orleans, and they wave it off.
Wow.
And I was talking with the band director, Bill Holston, at the time. He had the School of Liberal Arts. He said, the thing I remember the most about that is both sides started to cheer, and they didn't know what happened. The crowd calmed. There was probably 20,000 people there that night. It was an amazing crowd. And he said then PHS went silent. Escambia people, before they could cheer, remained silent. And then he said, but what I remember more than anything was David Rawson led them down the field, play after play after play. Kay Stevenson was the quarterback that night. And he said when they ruled that he didn't score, he said he held his head high, and he ran off that field showing no emotion. He said, I thought that young man is destined for greatness in his life, because he carried himself well. He did not throw his helmet, didn't show any outward emotion. I'm sure in talking with David it was very painful, but he handled himself the way they used to call it Tiger Pride. He bore that in probably the most bitter loss Pensacola High had ever had.
Wow. Well, Rick, listen, I wish we had more time with you. We want you to come on with Coach Wilson and I want to spend a lot of time, because this stuff is fascinating to me.
Well, great. I'd love to.
You are an encyclopedia of information for us on high school football in the Panhandle, and I appreciate you and the team working together, those people you had pulling that microfilm for you, and you taking the time to go through all this. It's a great resource, folks. Florida's oldest high school football team, a history of Pensacola high school football. It's the oldest currently running, or how do you say that?
Well, it was the oldest continuous program. There were two schools. Pensacola Classical played a year before Pensacola, but they've been out of business since 1912. So it's the oldest continuous program, and I think we have a lot of pride in that. They won they got beat in the regionals in '04, which was the 100th anniversary year. Not anniversary, but 100 years of football, and so they got a championship ring, and it had 100, and those kids really embraced that. So
well,
I'm proud of the legacy Pensacola High has, and thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. I'm proud of the legacy. I'm proud of what you've done, and I look forward to talking to you in the future, Rick.
Thank you. Likewise.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Hey, you're watching the Florida High School Panhandle Media Day show. I'm Johnny Mays, our special guest, Rick Fountain. Thank you so much. We'll be back right after these messages right here on MarketableSports.live and Varsity Sports Network.
Hey folks, I'm Josh Sitton, and you're watching Marketable Sports.
Marketable Sports, the app that lets you control your message and link with coaches, add highlights, stats, measurables, and accomplishments. Right now for football and soccer, version 2 in the spring will have baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, and hockey. Only $1.99 a month for players, coaches always free. Marketable Sports, proud partners with the NJFCA and the Rumble at the Raritan. Scan the QR code to go to the App Store or learn more at marketablesports.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, we're still at Pensacola Blue Wahoo Stadium, and we're still doing the Panhandle football, the first one ever Media Day show. We are pleased to be joined by the Choctaw Indians, Coach Frank Beasley. Thank you for coming over here, Coach, making the drive down. Welcome.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having us. So we're excited to be here. I'm sure y'all are having a long day. Y'all are a little tired after all these interviews. You're almost done. So we appreciate you guys hanging in there and talking with us.
100%.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, man. Coach, we were down there for the spring 4-team deal. And we called how many?
Wait,
240?
they were the game before the
They were
Choctaw Niceville.
Yeah, they were
yep.
game in Choctaw Niceville. So it was 2 nights back to back. We did y'all's game with Niceville, and then we did that 4-team deal over there, and we did 240 plays during that second thing, just straight through. But it's great to have y'all here to be a part of this. One thing I want you to do, Coach, is to tell me about your coaching path, your coaching journey, and who were the key people in there that you would think
Sure,
of?
no problem. I started my coaching career at an early age when I was 19 years old. I worked for Mike Hickman at Florida High in Tallahassee for a long time, and then I was fortunate to go work for Danny Green at Lake City, Columbia, who had won over 200 games in his career, and really were 2 separate personalities that I got an opportunity to learn from. And both of those guys are still mentors to me, and I still speak to them, and very appreciative of the things that they've taught me. And had the opportunity after I left Dunellen to coach with John Brantley at Trinity Catholic for a year.
Nice.
And that brought a whole nother dynamic to some things that I needed to learn and grow as a head coach. And he taught me a lot of things. So I've been fortunate to work for 3 different head coaches that have had a lot of success.
Well, y'all got great tradition at Choctaw High School. I mean, I was at Fort Walton Beach 90 and 91, yeah. And, of course, we didn't have a stadium. So your place was our stadium.
That's right.
And I was over there, painted that field many times and all that kind of thing. But that's great history, great tradition there. Everybody, that has gone before you has done a great job with it. I know you're doing a great job with it. And we're going to talk to these players and see what's
Coach,
going on.
Why don't you introduce who you brought with you today?
Yeah, absolutely love to. Number 1, wide receiver Jace Brown. Number 52, a defensive lineman, David Petway. And number 20, defensive end / outside linebacker, Terrion Harris.
Gentlemen, how are you today? Thanks for your patience. Thanks for coming over here and joining us. Let's start with you, Mr. Brown. We saw you play in the spring game. We saw that, offense looks good. How are you feeling about where you are compared to where you want to be, you personally, coming into the season here?
I definitely made a lot of improvement, but there's always room for improvement. So I think when the season comes, I'll be ready.
What are the things that you've done over the summertime to help you build yourself in terms of your position and your play?
I've been out there every day sharpening up my routes in the weight room and watching a lot of guys who have been successful in college and the NFL.
That's a great statement, and I haven't even asked this today of anybody. But when you watch college football, we as coaches, we as players, we watch it in a different way. We don't just see it as a game and it's 7-6, it's 14-7, that kind of stuff. You see your position, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what do you take away from that? Who are some of the guys that you like to watch?
Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp. I like how they run their routes.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Petway.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm great.
Tell
Happy
me.
to be here.
Awesome. I appreciate you coming down here. And I know Choctaw, Choctaw, I'm sure you've been told by Coach Beasley the rich history Choctaw football here in the Panhandle. And no pressure, but there's a lot to uphold. You guys are carrying on the torch for the Choctaw Indians. Tell me what you've done over the season to improve your game coming into the 2022 season.
Well, over the season, I've been perfecting my crafts on several of my moves. A lot of the times I'll text Terry on, come pick him up, and we'll just work after practice on our days off, just trying to find what will really work to perfect me as a player.
Yeah.
And as a person in total.
What do you? Let me say. Where do you feel like you start? You start with just the speed to start with on your moves and that kind of thing, or
Everything starts in our program in the weight room.
there you go.
There you go.
I like it.
So we want big, strong people, and then we'll build fast people after that.
All right.
There you go. So now, have you been doing any work, David, with your offensive line? So you get, because y'all have strong offensive line, and we've talked to some other programs where, these guys are saying, look, when I go up against this guy every day, that makes me a better player. So have you had those opportunities this summer?
Yes, sir. Like we say all the time in practice, iron sharpens iron. Like those are some of the best linemen I face, and every day it's an everyday battle. It's an everyday war with them. So trying to make them better, and they make me better every day.
Terrion, you see yourself moving? Are you going to be moving up to the defense on the line there? You going to be playing linebacker role too? A little mix of both?
Yes, sir. Wherever Coach puts me, that's where I'm going to play.
That's it. So you guys have been working out together. What else have you been doing besides working out there with David to improve your game coming into the 2022 season?
I like to watch a lot of film because D-line's kind of new to me. So I just watch the people that played before me, like Petway, and then the seniors before that. And then I just look at what they do and then translate it over to in the weight room and practice and then go from there.
I'm so happy to hear you say that word film. That word film right there can make you such a great player,
Yes, sir.
And if I had to give you any recruiting advice, I've been a recruiting coordinator in a couple of places, Georgia Tech, Mississippi State, and that kind of thing. But when you make yourself a highlight tape, okay, I want you to include just running film, because if I just take highlights, everybody looks good, right?
Yes, sir.
I always wanted to see, after you screwed up something, how did you play the next play? You know what I mean?
Yes,
that
sir.
tells me a whole lot about you when you get into that. So, but watching film, yes, keep doing that. Coach right here, he'll love you forever if you watch that film.
Let me tell you, Coach Beasley, 20th team I think we've had up here. That's the first time that we've had a player say over the summer what they've been doing is watching film.
Yeah, we like to think we're building a mature football program. I talk to our kids all the time about being mature and how to function in a high, player development is the key of everything that we do. So we really push our kids to do the extra things and really function as a college program, and that's my goal for our program, is to make sure that we're functioning at a high level, and they obviously have to do their part as well.
Coach, what are the things that you focused on this summer? I'm not talking about scheme-wise or anything. That's not what this show's about. I'm talking about building as people. Because each year, that's a great thing about high school, is that you always have a new team because you have graduating, you got new people coming in. What have you focused on this summer in terms of building that team cohesion?
So we have a great strength and conditioning coach. Addison Kendrick's been around for a long time and has done an outstanding job with our kids. So really, from January to May, we want to build, really as big people as we possibly can. When we get to June, we really focus on strength and speed. And then we get into July, we focus more on strength, maintaining our strength, keep building our strength, which we do in the fall as well, but really football-specific stuff. So, our kids are really close as is because they've all grown up together. We have a really cohesive unit. I really strongly believe that starts with your coaching staff, and our coaching staff's really, really close as well, and it trickles down into our kids. So we just been, doing the weight room stuff just like everybody else, and chasing these great programs around here like Pine Forest, like Niceville over here, and You know, we're going to do our thing and put our product on the field on Friday night and see what happens.
Coach, we can't wait to watch you guys. Hey, listen, I wish we had another 30 minutes so we could sit down and talk with you guys. There's a bunch of other guys that want to talk to you too. We want to come out and be at your game. We're definitely going to be watching you on the progress and see how this goes. I know you always have high expectations of your teams and set the bar high, and I love that. Choctaw Indian football is tough to beat right here in Panhandle, Coach. So thank you very much for coming down here and the time. I really appreciate it.
Y'all are welcome in Joe Etheridge Stadium any Friday night you want to come.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, guys.
All right, good luck, guys. Hey, we'll be right back here right after these messages.
Hey, folks, I'm Josh Sitton, and you're watching Marketable Sports.
Marketable Sports, the app that lets you control your message and link with coaches. Add highlights, stats, measurables, and accomplishments. Right now for football and soccer. Version 2 in the spring will have baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, and hockey. Only $1.99 a month for players. Coaches always free. Marketable Sports, proud partners with the NJFCA and the Rumble at the Raritan. Scan the QR code to go to the App Store or learn more at marketablesports.com.
Living on the Gulf is one thing, but it's nowhere near as amazing as living the Gulf Coast lifestyle. If you're living on the Gulf, you need to know about Titan Sunrooms. Since 2002, no one has built more sunrooms, screen rooms, and patio covers on the Gulf than Titan. And we offer a free design consultation and quote so you can discuss options with a skilled factory representative. Schedule your free consultation today at sunroomtitan.com or give us a call at 850-602-9337.
Marketable Sports, the app that lets you control your message and link with coaches. Add highlights, stats, measurables, and accomplishments. Right now for football and soccer. Version 2 in the spring will have baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, and hockey. Only $1.99 a month for players. Coaches always free. Marketable Sports, proud partners with the NJFCA and the Rumble at the Raritan. Scan the QR code to go to the App Store or learn more at marketablesports.com.
What camera do I look at? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are here, the inaugural Panhandle Football Media Day. We are now joined by the Niceville Eagles, letting y'all all know those mics are hot. Just because you ain't hearing it, doesn't mean I can't hear it. So, we're all good. Hey, joined by Coach Grant Thompson. Coach, thank you for coming over here, making the drive. And, of course, Coach Robinson behind you back there. Coach, why don't you introduce the players that you brought with you here today?
Okay, we got some good players here. We got Austin Zoll. We got Damon Allen, Marion Williamson, Jaden Shepard, Christian Caballero, and Jack Furtado.
Great group. There you go, right there. You got it in front of you.
I do.
Coach Thompson, to start off with, I want to say two things to you. One, I first came and visited you, and I saw y'all running gassers across the field.
You came on a good day.
Yes, I did, didn't I?
Y'all agree with that?
And I'm going to tell you what, I have not seen another team work that hard. I promise you. I have not seen it. And I congratulate you guys for being a part of it and buying into it. Secondly, take me down a short journey of yours in the coaching business, and who were the guys that influenced you in coaching football?
Oh, man, I'm blessed. I played for and worked for the last two coaches at Niceville High School for 45 years, both legends, Frank Sorrells and John Hicks. You couldn't get a better lesson. You know, you grow up just like these guys did. I grew up the little kid going to the games and run on the field afterwards and play there and play for Coach Sorrells. Was there his last year. Coach Hicks was the defensive coordinator. And then I got to work for Coach Hicks up through the ranks and, you know, see how he runs that program. It's a really unique experience. Right. You know, the Niceville way, we like to call it. To see that from the bottom level to the top, I think that really prepared me, you know, and it meant so much to me to get that opportunity to lead the program like that.
Well, absolutely. And you know, that's sort of been the motto of Niceville for several years. I was at Fort Walton Beach 90 and 91, you know, with Werfel and E.G. Green and that bunch. And, you know, it was always, we knew it was going to be a battle. No matter what, it was going to be a battle when we come to play Niceville. And because you're always fundamentally sound, and I'm so happy that they stayed within family to make you the head coach.
Me too.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Caballero. Linebacker.
Yes, sir. I'm right here.
I'm looking at the wrong dude, man. I'm sorry, man. Look, it's been a long day for me, man. So we're on the final stretch. It's only about the 500th mistake I've made today. So listen, that's live TV, and that's sports too. You go out there, you work hard. You're going to make a mistake. What have you learned from your coaching staff about those situations? Is it, you know, some people make a mistake, they get their head down, they get yelled at by the coach, and then they're down. Do you find that's a helpful way in the Niceville way?
I feel like how I was taught was short-term memory loss. If you make a mistake, like, forget it. And like learn from it and get better and just keep on working. And then my teammates, you know, help me like to be like, hey, do better and just work at it.
That's it.
Love it.
And this is, and you take that and you can apply it in life ahead, because we're all going to make mistakes. We're human beings, you know. And it's not whether you made that mistake. It's what do you do after it? What are your actions after that? You know. And that's that answer right there is exactly what you're looking for. Mr. Zoll, I got it. All right, okay. We'll work down the line. You know, we were lucky enough to you were one of our 2 spring games. I remember calling all of y'all's names out in that. Y'all played Choctaw. It was a great game. Tell me what you've been doing since that game to improve yourself in the position of defensive end that you play.
Well, personally, I've been doing, you know, just a lot of work at practice. You know, it's our whole team has really been working together, and we've come a long way from where we were there as a group of people. You know, like you said, you came here the day we were running gassers.
Mm-hmm.
Those 4 quarters, really tough workouts for everybody. You know, and it's more than just the physical aspect too. It's the mental where we've come from. Like the way our teammates, everybody, not just myself, approaches every single day, and the way we practice and the things we do. We're developing as athletes. We're getting stronger and faster, but we're also developing as men, and doing the best we can to. I almost want to say be tougher in those situations.
Sure.
But, you know, and you are surrounded by a great coaching staff that cares about that mental aspect, and that can carry you so many times when you've reached that limit physically. If you're mentally strong and you've been prepared and being taught things to become a man. Because these things that you're learning on the football field, you're going to take with you and apply in life for the rest of your life. So that's a great thing to hear, and you can tell that's a well-coached team right here, and we knew that. You don't even need to
No,
you just
you
know
don't.
it from reputation, but to hear it, I love to hear that. Coach.
Austin, I would ask you this. All right, what do you base your play on as far as your speed rush guy, get on the corner, or you know, that kind of thing? What do you base it on?
I like to do a little bit of a combination of both.
Right.
I think technique is very important.
Right.
Not everybody can be the biggest and the strongest and the fastest, so you got to be the smartest, and you got to be able to do a little bit of everything. You know, I like to to know how to bowl, to know how to swipe.
Okay.
You know, as much as I can learn.
You can
is what I
start.
wanna
I
do.
mean, yeah, you start perfecting that and get that tackle where he just doesn't know what in the world's coming, and then you got speed on him, and then you long arm bull him, and and all
sir.
that. It's fun. That's
Yes.
what and that's why we play this game. 'Cause it's fun.
The other side of the line, Mr. Hurtado. And so you guys are on the ends, eh? You're
Yes,
trying
sir.
to meet in the backfield at the quarterback or the running back, right?
Yes, sir.
You guys been working out together this summer?
Yes, sir. Mostly at school when we were doing our school lifts in the morning. We're on the same rack. We do upper body, lower body, everything together. But yes, sir. I've been working with everybody a lot with my friend Arden. He's just very, very strong. So he's been teaching me how to get bigger and stronger. So it's been good.
Well, y'all always have a top offensive line. Tell me how that, going up against those guys day in, day out, helps you improve your game.
Yes, sir. Joe Hansen is our right tackle, or left tackle, I'm sorry. And Colin Swordskin, very, very good athletes, very good O-line tackles. And I think it's the best thing for us because we get that work from, D1 players, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it works out great for us. Sometimes we get beat, but we got, you gotta know how to lose sometimes, but, learn.
Hey, listen, losing is not fun, but you learn a lot more from losing than you do from winning. Because winning, that's easy, and what did I learn? Losing, you're looking back, what mistakes did I make? What can I do to be better at this? Mr. Shepard, looking, I know, to score some touchdowns, and I remember calling your name and seeing you, and we're looking forward to seeing what you're going to do this season. What did you do this summer to help you out there outside on wide receiver?
So in the beginning of this summer, I had a little leg injury and stuff, so it kind of put me back. But I feel like I just got better mentally, looking over our other receivers, seeing how they work, and just being a bigger, trying to be a bigger leader and help our teammates and stuff with just our receiver or defensive back. Just make sure everybody is good, and doing my part, stepping up and not so much focusing on myself but my team.
Did you do some camps this year? You didn't do anything?
No, sir. I didn't go to any camps.
Now, but you're a dual guy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I remember seeing you in that role. The thing that keeps you on offense, you can catch football.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. Most defensive backs are really good receivers, but they can't catch.
Wait, you were about to go to one. Come on, man. Mr. Williamson. What do you got to say about that? You can retort to Coach here.
Hey, it's all in the plan. It's all in the moment.
Exactly.
We just work to get better.
I got you, man.
Tell me what it's like, because y'all are just always got great wide receivers and tight ends there in Niceville.
Oh, love the tight end.
Yeah, you got a fantastic tight end, of course, this year.
Yes,
but
sir.
How is that going up against these guys? Because I'm sure you get your one-on-one time with these guys.
Yes, sir.
How is that affecting your game and your style of play and making you as a player?
I'm telling you, it's making me better every single day, every day. These are they're really good guys to play against and compete against, and that's mainly what our thing is. We like to compete. So playing against those guys one-on-ones and learning how they play, watching them, and it's only making us both better on both sides of the ball.
Seniors across the board here, and we end it with Mr. Allen, who is not a senior. You're a junior, right?
Yes, sir.
Look at me.
Yeah,
There's
don't
another
run him
mistake.
off.
Check it off. I don't mind. I'll admit it. It makes me a better person. Tell me what you've been doing this summer to help you. There's always competition at Niceville. And if you take a day off, somebody's right behind you ready to take your spot. So what have you been doing this summer to help your game out?
Well, I've been working at home, working at the school, making myself better, doing footwork drills, being smarter on the field, and then taking it from my coaches and my players. I mean my teammates, because they be pushing me to make myself better. So.
Who? Let's tell me, you got a lot of young players behind you because you got great numbers and that kind of thing. Do y'all spend time with the younger guys, helping them out?
Yes, sir. I do spend time with them. We all do.
Good.
We teach them to be better men on the field and off.
Nice.
And
yeah,
nice.
that is, and I expect that out of Niceville because y'all have always been. I went to Gulf Breeze, '91 grad. Remember going up younger and seeing, you get Kenny Felder to come over and playing baseball and goes out in left field, catches the ball, and the whole fence goes like this. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, you're at a different level. But that's the foundation, so you guys pay it forward, right? You give it back to these younger guys because there were older guys that gave it to y'all and gave you that kind of attention. And that comes from the top down. We got Coach Robinson back here.
Yeah.
Look, give the microphone back there real quick.
Give the mic to him.
Hey, we were calling a game, Capital City Classic flag football. That's when we first met, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Absolutely.
you guys have had us here with open arms. You always invite us over, have us open arms. Coach, tell me what you're telling the players, because every season's different. But what have you told the players on your side of the ball? Because you got different interactions, different players, people graduating, new people coming in. What's your theme this season coming in? What are you telling these guys?
I think this year the theme really is to work hard. We're going to outwork everyone. And our players are really bought into that. And not only that, especially for these seniors at the table, they know this is the last year they're going to play football for the purity of the game. They're going to go out there and play for their brothers, their moms, their dads, their girlfriends, whatever it is. But they're going to play for the fun and the love of the game, and they know that.
That's fantastic. Coach,
Great
thank
work.
you for
Coach
coming
Thompson.
over. Coach Thompson, I tell you what, to take the time out of your day and come over here and drive over here, it means a lot to us. And you did it, I know, for the kids because that's why we're here. It's about shining a spotlight on the kids in the program, and it's been long missing here in the Panhandle.
This is special for these guys, and we appreciate y'all for having us.
Thank you very much, Coach.
Appreciate
Best of
it,
luck
guys.
to the
Thank you,
Niceville
guys.
Eagles
Yeah.
this season. Thanks for coming over. You're watching Panhandle Varsity Sports Network, marketablesports.live. This is the inaugural Panhandle Media Day. We'll be right back after these messages.
Hey folks, I'm Josh Sitton, and you're watching Marketable Sports.
Marketable Sports, the app that lets you control your message and link with coaches. Add highlights, stats, measurables, and accomplishments. Right now for football and soccer. Version 2 in the spring will have baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, and hockey. Only $1.99 a month for players. Coaches always free. Marketable Sports, proud partners with the NJFCA and the Rumble at the Raritan. Scan the QR code to go to the App Store or learn more at marketablesports.com.
Living on the Gulf is one thing, but it's nowhere near as amazing as living the Gulf Coast lifestyle. If you're living on the Gulf, you need to know about Titan sunrooms. Since 2002, no one has built more sunrooms, screen rooms, and patio covers on the Gulf than Titan. And we offer a free design consultation and quote so you can discuss options with a skilled factory representative. Schedule your
If you're in need for skilled home health services, heal in your own home with People's Home Health. Highly specialized skilled nursing and therapy care in the comfort of your own home. People's Home Health. The difference we make is the way we care.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Johnny Mays. You're watching the inaugural Panhandle Football Media Day show right here. We're at Pensacola Blue Wahoo. Special guest number 3, Brian Johnsey, Southeast Football Officials Association of Pensacola. Hey, listen, thanks for taking the time to come down here and talk to us.
Glad to be here. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about your organization, the association, and what y'all do.
All right, so SEFOA of Pensacola is how we talk about it. We handle mostly FHSA-related sports. We do a couple of youth side projects, but flag football, and then, of course, regular tackle football. And we've added on boys and girls lacrosse here for the coming season, for the 2023 season. So that's the basis. We've got a lot of college guys that do different sports, and we handle some youth stuff. And, of course, officials are in high demand right now, so we've got guys that do every sport out there to try to keep the games going.
Let's talk about that, since you touched on it right here. Let's talk about that demand and the need for officials out there, because it's not only here, it's across the state and really across the country we're seeing. So talk about that, if you would.
Yeah, it's a nationwide problem. If you think back just when I got started 15 short years ago, the idea was to go out and be a part of the community and do something that kind of gave back but made a few bucks. And I ended up loving it and enjoying the Friday nights. But it's real difficult to get a senior or freshman, sophomore, junior in college to give up their Friday night to get there at 5 o'clock in the afternoon for a 7 o'clock kickoff. And yeah, we get paid, but it's not it's not like a Friday night out on the town or something like that. And those numbers start to drop when the fans and the coaches have this big disdain for the people who are calling the game. We've always said, be the change you want to see. And so we try to reach out to some of these guys and girls. I've communicated with some of these seniors coming through saying, hey, if there's no game for you at the next level, we'd love to have you on the third team and come out and make our numbers younger and reinvigorate the sport. But, sports are opening up every day, and officials are walking away every day. So we have to really educate and everybody work together. So I work with the Miracle Strip guys over in the Santa Rosa group, and we try to come up with creative ways to keep officials in the game, but also make it a safe environment for the kids to play.
The third team, you don't hear it described much like that, but really the game doesn't happen without the third team.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And, one of the things that I've seen, you and I, our daughters played volleyball together. Yeah. So we've been those fans and parents that are on the sideline, and we look over, and I've always been very embarrassed by parents and fans start yelling at refs, and as if the referees are out there to try and just change the game or influence the game in some way.
Sure.
You don't have a job. You're just trying to do that.
If passion wasn't part of the sport, it wouldn't be any fun, right? So as you said, you and I've shared many an evening going, golly, if one play had gone a different way, right? And that's one piece of the puzzle, and that's fine. You can cheer for your team, and everything's great. But once you start demeaning another team, whether it be the officials or the opposing team, it really takes away from youth sports and from high school sports in general. But we're a product of what they see on TV. If we are not reining in some of the bad behaviors that are at the upper levels, the players on the field are going to spin the ball, and they're going to have campfires over a football in the end zone. Those types of things, they trickle down to even the youngest levels. And unfortunately, even here locally, we have a lot of dads that want to be, put their career that they had in high school back into their kids, or, say the way that it happened for us or the way that I played the game. Well, those rules have changed, and we have to change with them. That also means sportsmanship has to change for the betterment, too.
Absolutely. And you talk about those changes in rules, and every year the FHSAA readdresses the rules book.
Right.
That's y'all's obligation to know that inside and out.
Sure.
Let's talk about some rules changes that are going into effect for this particular season.
Well, first,
Yes.
I would like to probably be the only person besides the gentleman who gave you the book to give you a gift. Here's the new Federation book for this year.
Thanks, Johnsy.
So
I
that way, when
appreciate you.
you're talking about the rules throughout the season, you have a reference point. And
you know me,
you're
former trial
read,
lawyer. I don't have any problem reading rules and regulations. That's fine with me. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. So every year there's rule changes, but sometimes they're just editorial changes too. One of the editorial changes this year for targeting, and we all see what targeting looks like in college rule. It's a little bit different for high school. It's not an automatic ejection. We don't have instant replay. We don't have those things to help us determine whether or not there was intent or the launching and some of those things. But if we figure out that it was just plain as day, grandma on the very top of the stands, everybody could see it, including the sets of eyes out there, we do have that ability to eject that player for a targeting type of offense. It is not automatic. A lot of the fans in the stands combine rules. They watched it on Sunday. They think Monday night for a JV and freshman game that it's the same rule. We have different sets. Targeting is one of those that gets a little confusing for folks. But the big ones this year is the intentional grounding rule for the quarterback or the passer, quite frankly, the way we talk about it. All they have to do is get outside the pocket, what laymen call the pocket. We call it the free blocking zone. He's got to get about 3 steps one way or the other, and he can dump the ball up toward the line of scrimmage. Can't just throw it into the ground like when you're clocking it, to try to save time. But get it up toward the line of scrimmage.
Doesn't have to cross that line of
just
scrimmage.
has to get to it.
Get to it.
Yep.
So that's important for people to know these kind of things because, how many times I've sat as a parent in the stadium and hear parents yelling and screaming at a referee, and I'm thinking, well, that's not the rules that apply in high school.
Right. Yeah, sure. So, in high school, they're starting to mirror a few things that the NCAA does. Getting the ball toward the line, almost to the line, whatever the exact piece is. I'm telling my guys, look, we don't have some laser line. If it's real close, we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt. And the biggest piece of this change is that it's for safety. We want these kids to be able to play the next down, right? Throw it away, have another play. So if he throws it, he or she throws it in the stands or throws it to the line, throws it to empty space, no longer intentional grounding, just an incomplete pass, and we move on and do it the next play. So
and it's easy to forget with the size of these guys. They're big guys. I mean, they're still kids, though, man.
I just was just talking to one of the Mosley players, and I'm like, man, you need to sit down. You're a big fella.
Any other big rules changes that teams and parents need to be aware of?
So the big one that is a point of emphasis for these teams is you see a lot of the NCAA guys where their pants are only coming down to here. They're really putting a point of emphasis on. You've got Andrews Institute over here, and they can talk all day about the sports injuries and blowing up a patella. But really, I've been talking with the coaches to get those pants pulled down, get the appropriate knee pad that's going to cover those guys up, and that starts from the youth level all the way up until you get to the NCAA where they have some changes there. But really, uniform and targeting, and then the intentional grounding are going to be the big 3. There's some other things like chop blocks and some timing related changes, but those are more specific to us and bang plays. But what parents and fans and coaches really need to understand is if a player gives us a 50-50 call where it could go either way, we as officials are going to rule toward the safety side, or we're human. What did we see in that blink of a moment? Was another player running in front of us and blocked some of our view. So we have a see the ball and try to make the call there. So,
folks, I can verify that he is human and referees are human. Hey, let's say somebody's sitting at home.
Okay.
They want to be a ref. What do?
Man, that's great. So FHSA.org, there is a link on there. It says Become an Official. Literally, if you click that link, it walks you through the steps. I'm on Twitter at Brian Johnsey, at Brian Johnsey.
I think there's an L in there.
There may be. All right, Brian L. Johnsey, whatever. You can find me there. You can find me on Facebook. We have SEFOA, our logo on Facebook. Find us. We will find you a home, and I don't care what sport it is. We don't do baseball or softball, but there's plenty of people we have contact with that can make that happen. Or talk to your coaches. They obviously have my phone number. They have our ways of communicating with us, and we'll get it out there. I mean, I live locally. My kids play here. My daughter went to West Tech and finished in the Hall of Fame there. So, we have a connection with the area. It's not just the villainous 7 officials that are out there.
Hey, be the change you want to see. And that means if you're not happy with what you're seeing in terms of the refs, go out there and be a ref.
Yeah, bring it.
You be the change you want to see, and that's what it's all about. Brian,
Johnny, thanks, man.
I appreciate you coming down. I wish I had more time with you, but, dude, to take this time, I really do appreciate it.
Tell your family hello.
I will.
See you, bud.
You do the same.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, we'll be right back after these messages. You're watching the inaugural Panhandle Football Media Day. We'll be right back.
Hey, folks, I'm Josh Sitton, and you're watching Marketable Sports.
If you're in need for skilled home health services, heal in your own home with People's Home Health. Highly specialized skilled nursing and therapy care in the comfort of your own home. People's Home Health. The difference we make is the way we care.
Consultation today at sunroomtitan.com or give us a call at 850-602-9337.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the inaugural Panhandle Football Media Day. Never been done here. And on we are to my alma mater, going back, Gulf Breeze Dolphins. Everybody's wanted to punch me when I've said that today, but I'm a Dolphin at heart, and I keep on pointing back here because that's where we are. Coach Bobby Clayton, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, man, thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Why don't you tell the folks at home, introduce yourself, and then who you brought with you here today.
All right, Bobby Clayton, head football coach. I brought Lumpy Liam DeWeese with me. Got Battle Alberson, he's our quarterback. Troy Coughlin's our running back, and I've got our running back coach and special teams coordinator, Drew French.
All right.
Well, boy, it's great to have y'all here, Coach. And I tell you what, I've started every interview with this question. Give me just a little bit of your journey to being the head coach at a place where you've known forever, man. Tell me about it.
Man, the journey started out at Pine Forest High School.
Right.
I graduated college, came home, wanted to coach, and got right in at Pine Forest with Jerry Pollard working for him. I was there 5 or 6 years, won a state title in 2000, and bounced over to Gulf Breeze as offensive coordinator. So I've been between Pine Forest and Gulf Breeze on my coaching stint. Opportunity came for a head coaching job. I applied, and here I sit 6 years later, going into my 7th season.
Absolutely, man. And now you've taken on a little dual role, huh?
Yeah, I don't have enough on my plate. I got 4 kids, wife, and decided to go ahead and be the head baseball coach too. So we got a lot on our plate, man. We're an athletic family.
Yeah.
My wife supports it. She's obviously my heart and soul at the house that takes care of my children and allows me to do what I love to do.
Appreciate that comment for sure.
Coach, we've asked all the coaches that come in here. It's normally Coach Dave Wilson that does it, but talk about and tell the people at home who are the biggest influences in your coaching style that made you who you are as a coach?
Man, I think it's a lot of it's, from high school. Don Cobb was my high school head football coach as a senior. Man, he was a well-loved guy, and he kind of nurtured me even through college. I had some great coaches in college. Mike Muschamp was my offensive coordinator in college. Developed a great relationship with him. And then really, I would say my coaching style came through, coaching with my father-in-law now, Jerry Pollard.
Yeah.
Got to spend a little time with Carl Madison and those guys. I mean, you get to rub elbows with some of those guys. Yeah. It was pretty important in my life.
It's amazing, Johnny, how we've heard the same names come from most of all these coaches here.
Oh, the Pollard. Coach
And
Pollard's been thrown out there several times and obviously had a great influence on a lot of people.
Well, and certainly Carl Madison. I mean, Carl Madison is a legend, I had the pleasure, of course, of coaching at Woodham and then I coached at Washington and Carl being in a couple of different places. I'm with that. But then he moved across the street from me, Coach. We lived in that Cordova Park area, and Carl Madison moved across the street from us. So, man, we used to share stuff and stories and do all this stuff. Just a great influence on me, too, late.
Lumpy, we'll start off with you. You're sitting closest to Coach, so you get the first one off the bat. A good season on defense last year for you, but that is gone now. We start over, wipe the slate clean. What have you been doing this summer?
I've been going to a lot of camps and working with my teammates and getting ready almost every day of the week.
Tell me what you're doing to every day of the week to improve your game.
Well, this summer we brought in both he's great Tyler Dimmer to work with us and get our speed and agility up, and he's been getting us into shape all summer.
Okay, all right. So Dittmer's made it back here. Is he going to take a coaching role now, Coach?
I think so. He talked to me about wanting to get back involved. He got into the world of strength and conditioning after he got hurt. He approached me about doing some stuff this summer, and I was like, hey, young guy, sometimes us old guys get a little tired out there, so it's been nice to have some young blood. Plus, all these guys know who he is, and so they know his journey and what he's done, so he's been a huge asset this summer.
Have you been able, Lumpy, to get out and do any 7v7 stuff?
Yes, sir. I played with 850 Elite, who's ran by Duwork Sports this spring on top of baseball, but it helped me get ready for my upcoming senior season with my coverage and everything else.
So how did the name Lumpy come along there, buddy? I gotta ask you. I'm sorry.
I used to run into everything when I was little, sir.
Oh, man. I coached your older brother in baseball, and I didn't mess him up too bad, so I'm happy about that. But that goes back, way back. Off to your right, your quarterback battle. My wife and I, she's running around here somewhere, but the first time we saw your name, we were like, why didn't we name our youngest Battle? Because it's about the coolest name, especially for an athlete. So tell me what you've been doing this summer, Battle.
I'm just the same as Lumpy, being with the team, going to workouts, and some camps, getting around a little bit, and that's been about it.
Now, you are a junior, is that right?
Going into my junior year.
Going into your junior year, and you've got a couple, in fact, Coach's son, he's a junior also, right? These are guys that you've played with your whole life, right, these guys?
Yes, sir. It means a lot, for sure. I mean, we were 8, 9 years old playing baseball and football together, and it's been like that since then. It means a lot.
Battle, first time I saw you, unfortunately, I was on Washington sidelines last year helping with the quarterbacks over there. But I just really got impressed with your mechanics. You're accurate with the football. You've got good receivers around you. So now then you just distribute it, where you need to. And you have confidence in those receivers to get it to them.
What have you been doing to build on that into?
We just got to, stay together, keep a connection, getting out and throwing just after workouts and stuff like that, being together, that sort of thing.
I got you. Did camps you went to? Who'd you visit? You visited any camps this summer?
Yeah, so I went to Notre Dame, I went to Pitt, I went to Florida, and I was at the Mercer Mega.
Gotcha. Well, you really picked up a lot of little bitty hints while you were there, right?
Yes, sir, for sure.
All right, Troy, I'm going to make you talk, man. I know you don't like to a lot of times. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, bowling ball running back, I mean, tough as nails. Picked up an injury at the end of last year. So you've been working on getting better. How do you feel? Where are you? You ready to roll?
Yes, sir. My shoulder feels 100% good. I'm ready to get back on that football field.
Ready to start the practices coming up. What have you been doing over the summer to stay fresh and healthy? And I know you're rehabbing, but beyond that, for your game.
I just been going to summer workouts, getting in shape, getting faster, working on my footwork, and just getting ready to get back on the field, get my shoulder 100%. And
Let me ask you this. Are you sure you're not like 22 years old?
No, listen.
But not that. I mean, here's the thing. You have the look of a Alabama player, University of Alabama. When you see University of Alabama's team, you look at guys and you think that, God, that guy's got to be 30 years old, you know? But no, I'm playing with you a little bit here. But you seem like you're a very mature player, you know, and go about in your business, knowing that this rehab, you're going to come back stronger than you were before.
Yes, sir.
Tell us how you felt once that injury came, and then what did you do to put that aside? You don't need to tell us how you felt. I know you were upset. I saw it. You know, I mean, it's obviously devastating to lose the rest of your season. How did you get right mentally? What did you do to prepare yourself?
I just got my surgery done. I went to every single therapy I had to go to get it right, and then I got it done and just came back and got stronger.
Put in the work. That's how you do it. Coach French down there at the end. You got the running backs. You got your guy Coughlin there. I know you've got others behind you. You also do track and field stuff, right?
I do a little bit here and there, mainly on a volunteer basis. Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So what have you seen these guys improvement in your running back core? What have they been doing to get better? What have you guys been focusing on?
It's funny you mentioned track and field because Troy actually, being hurt, couldn't play baseball. He actually went on the track team. And I got to watch him throughout the season get faster and his stride get longer. And he's going to have a little bit of breakaway this year, I hope.
That's awesome. Coach Clayton, you know, the beauty of high school football is you've got a different team every year. You lost seniors this year. You got new rising guys coming up who are going to contribute to the team. What are you telling the team this year? What's the motto? What are y'all striving for? What is y'all's mentality? What are you getting?
I think Battle said it best, you know, stay together. I mean, a lot of these guys, I mean, we're returning 7 starters on offense. We're returning 6 on defense. So we lose some key guys, but we've got some young guys, like you said, that were back up and contributed last year. They're going to step right in. Offensively especially, we lost the Hepworth kid at receiver, but we get Bruce Hall back from an injury, and you know, we jump right back into it.
And he missed almost the entire season.
Yeah, he played against Catholic, had 2 touchdowns, and then tore his ACL, and that kid's come back strong as ever, back faster. And so, you know, like you said it, Battle's got some weapons with Troy running the football that we should be able to spread it around. You know, but it's stay together, work together, never get outworked. These guys understand it. I mean, they've like Battle said, they've won since they've been 9 and 10 years old, all the way through, and so it's just continue with that.
Don't get outworked. That's it. That's great. Coach, thank you. Players, guys, thank you guys. Lumpy, Battle, Troy, thank you guys. And Coach French, thank you for coming down here. Hey, listen, you know, this is really something special, but it can't be that without y'all doing it. Our idea is to give these kids a spotlight that they haven't had in the past.
Very true.
But we can't do it without y'all's help, too. So thank you very much, Coach.
Hey, well, thank you for having us. We enjoyed it, man. Can't wait to do it again.
Awesome. We'll be doing it next year, and we'll be watching y'all this season. Good luck this season. We'll be right back after these messages. Mosley Dolphins up next. Dolphins back-to-back. We'll be right back.
Hey, folks, I'm Josh Sitton, and you're watching Marketable Sports.
Marketable Sports, the app that lets you control your message and link with coaches. Add highlight stats, measurables, and accomplishments. Right now for football and soccer. Version 2 in the spring will have baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, and hockey. Only $1.99 a month for players. Coaches always free. Marketable Sports, proud partners with the NJFCA and the Rumble at the Raritan. Scan the QR code to go to the App Store or learn more at marketablesports.com.
If you're in need for skilled home health services, heal in your own home with People's Home Health. Highly specialized skilled nursing and therapy care in the comfort of your own home. People's Home Health. The difference we make is the way we care.
Living on the Gulf is one thing, but it's nowhere near as amazing as living the Gulf Coast lifestyle. If you're living on the Gulf, you need to know about Titan sunrooms. Since 2002, no one has built more sunrooms, screen rooms, and patio covers on the Gulf than Titan. And we offer a free design consultation and quote so you can discuss options with a skilled factory representative.
If you're in need for skilled home health services, heal in your own home with People's Home Health. Highly specialized skilled nursing and therapy care in the comfort of your own home. People's Home Health. The difference we make is the way we care.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is it, the inaugural Panhandle Football Media Day. And I said back-to-back Dolphins, here we go. Probably one of the teams that made the longest journey. Coach Tommy Joe Whitten, man, I appreciate Mosley Dolphins. Thanks for coming over here and bringing your guys over. Thank you for joining us for this great event.
Appreciate for having us.
Absolutely. If you would, please introduce who you brought with you and tell everybody at home who's here representing your Dolphins. I know you wish you could have brought a lot more.
Yep. Right here to my right, we got Randy Pittman, who plays tight end and linebacker for us. Isaac Paul, who's a corner and an athlete. Then we got Cree Ross, who plays wide receiver. Then we got Javen Jamalin, who plays defensive line. And then we got Braden Bubba Rourke, who plays offensive line. And then we got Coach Messer with us down on the end.
I was hoping that you would have brought one of your offensive linemen there. It's always – they're the forgotten ones, man. You know, as Coach says, you know, the great thing about football is it truly is a team, because you look at the offensive line, this is a position where you're never supposed to touch the football unless you're the center. And if you're touching the football, something went wrong. So they don't get recognized as much for their work as they should.
Oh, there's no doubt. They're my favorite group to be around. You know, whenever we're out there on the practice and I'm down there working with the offensive line, time flies because they're a selfless group that works together, plays together, works really hard, and just those guys are really fun to be around.
Coach Whitten, I've asked everybody this, and just take me on a short journey that brought you to being head coach. I know most of it, and I know where most of it came from,
Right.
but who are some of those other people along the way?
It starts with my dad. My dad was a high school football coach for close to 20 years up in Alabama, won a state championship. As a kid, I remember going to practice, 4 and 5 years old, and that's what really made me want to get into coaching. But some other influence would be my college coach, Jack Crow.
Yeah,
he's a tough, hard-nosed guy, and then also Coach Hicks. He's my father-in-law, but I was his quarterback. I played for him. I also coached for him, and just truly lucky to be around some really, really good football coaches, and not just good football coaches, but really tough men that taught me the game and the importance of being tough.
I've never asked you this, but were you on a team that Coach Hicks brought to Georgia Tech for a game? You remember that?
I can't remember.
It may have been shortly after you graduated, but you know, he was always so good about that. He wanted to expose his team to, you know, big time football, so that they could measure, you know, where they were, and they came and spent the weekend actually in Atlanta and went to our Georgia Tech game. I don't even know who it was, but you know, it was a great visit.
No, it's good. It's something that when I was, with Coach Hicks, something that he definitely put an emphasis on. It's something that we put an emphasis on Mosley. Just in my short time there, we've taken the kids to South Alabama. We've taken them over to FAMU. This week, the first week of the season, we're playing down in Orlando. We're going to get the opportunity to practice down at Central Florida. So,
that's awesome. You played a team out of Delaware coming down?
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So,
yeah, that's a great opportunity. And so y'all taking a big bus down there to the whole team together?
Taking the whole team, taking a bus down there. Going to be down in Orlando for a couple of days.
Fantastic. It's great team building opportunity too.
Love it. No, it is. It is. Our kids have had a really, really good summer. We've been working really hard, and we work hard, but we like to have some fun too. So we're going to play a team out of Pennsylvania, and then the next day we're going to take them to Universal Studios for a day.
So it's Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I saw Delaware Valley.
Yeah, it's Delaware Valley, but they're out of Pennsylvania.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, they're right on top of each other. Mr. Pittman.
Pittman.
Coming at you.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Are you playing on both sides of the ball this year?
Yes, sir.
All right. So obviously you've got the size of tight end, right? And you play in that linebacker role. What I want to ask you about is, what have you been doing this summer to work on your blocking technique to help out your running game and your quarterback? Because that's a critical part of the tight end position.
Yes, sir. With the blocking game, I've been training with this guy named Chen Gimmons back in my hometown. He's really good. He's teaching me everything that I need to know, to play this tight end position. Just working every day with him, 4 days a week, just getting the grind. And my quarterback also goes with him also. Isaac goes. We also have a few of our offensive linemen that also goes with us. So everyone is working hard, and we are trying to be the best that we can be.
So Isaac, you're next to Randy there.
Yes, sir.
You guys go up against y'all doing one-on-ones up against each other?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's really a friendly competition. He gets a rep, I get a rep. So it all around makes both of us a better player. If there's any areas of my game that are coming up short, he'll be sure to expose that in practice. So
he exposed it now, but off the field, y'all talking about like, hey, look, I got you here, and this is how you improve that. Open book with each other, right?
Yes, sir.
That's what
yes,
it
sir.
is.
Definitely.
And that's what and so working together, that's obviously going to help you in the season. What else you been doing in the off season to help you in your position?
So this off season, I really been working a lot on my footwork and kind of my ball skills, attacking the ball while it's in the air, and then also getting in and out of my breaks quick and fast, so that way I can be in position to get the ball. But then also just becoming a more knowledgeable football player on the field.
You know what, guys? The thing about it, go back 15 years and you never heard those kind of words coming out of a player. The technical stuff of it and how you go about making that adjustment. And if you do something wrong one time,
right.
Okay, I forgive you. If you do something wrong twice, now you've developed a habit,
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to work to change those kind of things.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right, next to you've got is it Creed Ross?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So, you got DBs, you got stud DBs you're going up against. We talked about how that helps you progress and become a better receiver out there for your quarterback. What else have you been doing? You've been getting some one-on-one work with your quarterback, get timing down and that type of thing?
Yes, sir. We working on chemistry a lot, offside, on and off the field a lot. We just throw around the pigskin a lot with a lot of our friends here and there. We go to the field about every other day, and we just kind of want to get the chemistry right before the season, so no flaws or nothing bad happens during the game.
Let me ask you this. Most quarterback receiver combinations, they've got some kind of little, and I'm not asking you for it.
No, don't tell any secrets. You're not allowed. Don't answer the question.
You got some kind of little look or whatever it is that says, hey, this is going to change now, and this is where I'm going to be.
Yes, sir.
You develop that with your quarterback as you go?
Yes, sir. It's a lot of on-the-line looks. If I see something I like, he sees something he likes, we'll look at each other and check it off and make sure we can get it done.
Great.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Jamalin, is that how it is? Did I say it right?
Jamalon.
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 All right, you're on that defensive line,
Yes,
eh?
sir.
And you and Mr. Rourke working up against each other, doing
Yes, sir.
some big man one-on-ones?
Yes, sir. We do it all the time.
All right. Tell me, aside from that that workout that you're getting with your offensive line, doing those one-on-ones and that type of stuff, what have you been doing to improve your game? Everybody's got stuff that they know they need to work on, or whether you really do or not, you feel you need to. What have you been working on this summer?
Just a lot on I think my strength and all, going off the ball really hard. My moves off the ball and all, just all that.
Well, what do you try to do first? You try to speed rush him or bull rush him, or what do you like to do first?
Get to the quarterback, running back, find the ball.
Bull rush, I guess.
Bull rush, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I like it. Okay. Well, maybe you can develop a little swimmy, a little hip. Okay, I got you.
He's pushing the swim. He's been pushing it all day long, man. I don't think our coaches want to see it too much, though, man. You overplay that, and everybody knows.
You got to do it right.
You're right. Okay. All right, and down at the end, Mr. Rourke, offensive line, we talked to you a little bit. Tell me a few things that you've been doing to improve your game there and help your quarterback and your running game and all that.
Well, I just look at what I can improve on from last year. I look at my film, and I've just been working on that all off season and make sure I'm the best for this season upcoming.
You know what? That's the second time somebody said the word film here today.
Only two.
And that's great. I applaud you for that so much.
Thank you.
For doing that. And, it's great. It makes your job so much easier.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest thing that you guys have got is keeping up with this guy calling plays and getting the ball snapped.
Yes, sir.
And so, but that's all right.
It's that ugly work that nobody sees that goes so far when you get out in the field and out in the game. Coach Messer, tell me about this team and how it differs from teams you've been involved in the past.
Well, that's easy. I joined this group of guys back in February, and their drive to be great every day can't be understated. These guys, they show up. They're ready to work. They're ready to be coached. And, the chemistry, the chemistry of these guys, they played together for so many years. You don't have to worry about the locker room. It all takes care of itself. So these guys, you can see the close bond they all have with each other. They definitely want to be great, and playing for Mosley matters to them.
That's great. And one more question. How's my boy LJ doing?
LJ's doing great. He's playing a little tight end receiver for us. He's going to be a big part of winning a lot of football games this year.
Like it, buddy. Like it.
Coach Whidden, listen, every team is different for you. That's the beauty of high school football. You had graduating seniors last year. You have new guys coming in. I've been watching what y'all are doing, at least on social media, seeing y'all working. You're good about putting that out there and exposing the kids because a lot of them on your team want to go play at the next level, quite frankly, and they deserve to, and they can, and to get that education. What are you telling the team coming in off the summer, going into the 2022 season? Is there a motto? Is there a theme? What do y'all got this season?
Yeah, our motto for this season is unsatisfied. Last year we had a really good year. We went 11-2, won the first district title at Mosley in 40 years. But all that's in the past. There's nothing. We don't get to bring any of those wins with us this year. We made it to the third round. As a coach, anytime you make it to Thanksgiving week, that's a great week.
Yeah.
It means you had a great season.
Absolutely.
And but this year we want more. We got a little bit of taste. I think our guys are really hungry this year. I think our mindset going into the season in year two is a lot different than where our mindset was at this time a year ago. Everybody's trying to fill each other out. But, right now we all know what the expectations are. We know what the work ethic looks like and what we got to do on a daily basis. And so far we've been doing a really good job of that, and I'm excited to see what this football team can accomplish this year.
Randy, if you score a touchdown or you get a sack, either one, you got to give me a little shout-out, all right?
I got you.
Okay.
I will.
I'm going to be looking for it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mosley Dolphins, all of you, thank you for coming down here. Next year when we do it, we're going more centrally located. So everybody on the tips, they have to go the same distance. To make it happen, we had to come here to this beautiful field. Y'all to sacrifice and drive over here for this media day and this short time on with us. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Hey, best of luck to Mosley Dolphins. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, this is the inaugural Panhandle Football Media Day. If you're watching on Varsity Sports Network, y'all have a great day. They're going to go back to regular programming. If you're on marketablesports.live, we'll be back for one final word. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back right after these messages.
Hey, folks, I'm Josh Sitton, and you're watching Marketable Sports.
Marketable Sports, the app that lets you control your message and link with coaches. Add highlights, stats, measurables, and accomplishments. Right now for football and soccer. Version 2 in the spring will have baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, and hockey. Only $1.99 a month for players. Coaches always free. Marketable Sports, proud partners with the NJFCA and the Rumble at the Raritan. Scan the QR code to go to the App Store or learn more at marketablesports.com.
Free consultation today at sunroomtitan.com or give us a call at 850-602-9337.
Folks, we are back here, marketablesports.live. Whoa, Coach.
What a day.
Woo, we did it.
We did it. We
Hey,
did it.
I don't want to even talk about how many hours of prep for this thing, and I was trying to find something because I'm looking for this, okay?
All right.
All right.
Oh,
Number
yeah.
one. Man, it was fast and furious. Number one, big props and thanks to Marshall Trotter, obviously.
Absolutely.
On
Great
the production. Fantastic job on production there. Can't do it without him. The number of hours that he put in on those graphics, those things are awesome. Marshall, you're invaluable, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And, of course, our wives.
Oh, yeah.
Tammy Wilson. We don't have the same wife, okay?
No.
Jesse Mays and Tammy Wilson.
Yeah, exactly.
Different people. Thank you for your help. And then as a family affair for you.
The Hardy girls are
Sadie
here.
Hardy. Of course, Tammy's friend, Rainey Bouillon.
Rainey Bouillon.
But Sadie, Lily, and
Lexi
Lexi Hardy,
did a great
and
job.
Mom Holly.
Absolutely.
Man, we couldn't have done it without all of y'all. Thank you very much. Hey, we're excited about this. MarketableSports.live is brand new. We're just launching our 24/7 channels coming soon. They got to build that out. We're going to be on Roku, Fire Stick, Apple TV.
Yep.
We going to be covering and broadcasting sports. And it ain't just going to be high school sports. We're going out beyond that, too.
No,
Coach.
and it's going to be community events. We may even do, sand volleyball, beach volleyball, all that kind of stuff. And we really want to show the community, which reaches from here to Panama City, really.
Yep, that's it. Hey, thank you for joining us. What a great show. What a great time. This is the inaugural. We can't say inaugural anymore.
No
on
more.
the
We're
Panhandle
headed
Football Media Day.
To the second annual
Second
now.
annual and whatever after that. So thank you for joining us. For Coach Dave Wilson, I'm Johnny Mays. Marketable Sports coming at you. We'll see you more this fall.
Hey, folks, I'm Josh Sitton, and you're watching Marketable Sports.
Marketable Sports, the app that lets you control your message and link with coaches. Add highlights, stats, measurables, and accomplishments. Right now for football and soccer. Version 2 in the spring will have baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, and hockey. Only $1.99 a month for players. Coaches always free. Marketable Sports, proud partners with the NJFCA and the Rumble at the Raritan. Scan the QR code to go to the App Store or learn more at marketablesports.com.